Today's lesson is on dividing fractions. After today, you'll be able to interpret and compute quotients of fractions. First, we're going to look at a vocabulary word. Two numbers whose product is 1 are reciprocals. To write a reciprocal of a number, write the number as a fraction, then invert the fraction. When you invert a glass, you turn it over. So when we invert the fraction, we're going to turn it over, or we're going to flip it over. For our first example, we are writing reciprocals. For A, the original number is 3/5. The fraction would then be 3/5. The reciprocal would be 5/3 because we're going to turn it over or flip it over. The denominator becomes the numerator, and the numerator becomes the denominator. We can see that when we multiply 3/5, which was the original fraction, times the reciprocal 5/3, we're going to get 1 whole, because 3 times 5 is 15, and 5 times 3 is 15, and 15 over 15 is 1. For B, we have 9/5. That is our original number. The fraction is 9/5, and our reciprocal would be 5/9, because we're going to invert the fraction, so we're going to flip it over. 9/5 times 5/9 is equal to 1. And for C, our original number is 2. We need to make this a fraction. For a whole number, you're going to put a 1 underneath it to make it a fraction. So 2 over 1 would be our fraction. Then our reciprocal will be 1/2. And then when we check this, 2 over 1 times 1/2 would be equal to 1. Now we're going to look at an additional example. You can pause the video and try it on your own, or you can follow along. Write the reciprocal of the number. For number 1, we have 3/4. When we write the reciprocal, we're going to turn it over. So we're going to write the denominator on the top, so we have 4, and then on the bottom of our fraction we're going to write the numerator, which was 3. So the reciprocal of 3/4 is 4/3. For number 2, our number is 5. First, we need to make this a fraction. So 5 is equal to 5 over 1. Now we want to invert this fraction, so we're going to put the 1 on the top, and then we're going to put the 5 on the bottom. So the reciprocal of 5 over 1 would be 1/5. Now we're going to look at a key idea for dividing fractions. To divide a number by a fraction, multiply the number by the reciprocal of the fraction. So our example is 1/5 divided by 3/4 would be equal to 1/5 times 4/3. We do the reciprocal of the second fraction. For our second example, we're dividing a fraction by a fraction. We're going to find 1/6 divided by 2/3. First, we will write the first fraction, 1/6. Then we have that divided by 2/3. We keep the first fraction the same, so 1/6, and we invert the second fraction, so we do the reciprocal of the second fraction. The reciprocal of 2/3 is 3/2. Now I'm going to multiply 1/6 times 3/2. In order to do this, I multiply 1 times 3 for the numerators, and I multiply 6 times 2 for the denominators. Now I can see if I can simplify. 3 and 6 can both be divided by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. So now for the numerators I have 1 times 1, which is 1, and the denominator I have 2 times 2, which is 4. So my answer would be 1/4. Now we have a couple of additional examples. You can pause the video and try them on your own, or you may follow along. For these two examples, we're going to divide, and we'll write the answer in simplest form. So for number 3, we have 2/7 divided by 1/3. When we are dividing fractions, we're going to keep the first fraction the same, and then we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. So for this one, I have 2/7 times 3 over 1. I will take the second fraction and flip it over. When I have 2/7 times 3 over 1, I would have 2 times 3 for the numerator and 7 times 1 for the denominator. I cannot simplify anything on this problem, so I'm just going to go ahead and multiply. 2 times 3 is 6, and 7 times 1 is 7. So my answer for this problem is 6/7. For number 4, I have 3/8 divided by 1/4. For this problem, I'm going to keep 3/8 the same, and I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal of 1/4. The reciprocal of 1/4 would be 4 over 1. So I have 3/8 times 4 over 1. Now I'm going to multiply my numerators, so 3 times 4 for the numerator, and then I multiply my denominators, 8 times 1 for the denominator. Then I look to see if I can simplify anything. I can divide 4 and 8 both by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. Now I'm going to go ahead and multiply across. 3 times 1 is 3, and for the denominator, 2 times 1 is 2. Now I can make this into a mixed number. So to make this into a mixed number, I'm going to do the numerator divided by the denominator. 2 goes into 3 one time, and 1 times 2 is 2. When I subtract 3 minus 2, I will get 1. So my answer is going to be 1 and 1/2. So 3/2 is equal to 1 and 1/2. Don't forget to fill out your notes, and remember you can watch the video again if needed.